Hello, everyone. The post segment is Case in Point, coming to you from the platform of Habitat Studio. As always, I remain Oluwafunsho Oloja. Hope you're having a great day. Today's topic is a second episode of Fleeing Nigerians. So this time we just want to, understand why people continue to live, but this time from another person who is going to be sharing his story with us shortly. Migrating to other countries still seems like a norm that many youth want at all costs. Even parents don't want their children to stay with them in their own country. I beg your pardon. This is contrary to what used to happen earlier in history. But the irony is that they now embrace and encourage it too. So we have another person who will be sharing with us the reason he has chosen to leave the country. Joining us today is Femi Akinrotimi, who is, as we speak, currently in Canada. Thanks for joining us, Femi.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me on the platform, Remy. I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to share my experiences. I currently live in Ontario, Canada, and I moved here in 2013, right after my youth service, and I've called it home. I mean, they say home is where you rest your head, so Canada is home for me, for my family, and I'm looking, I'm open to sharing my experiences with you guys. I moved right after my NYC through my postgraduate studies. I decided to do my postgraduate studies in Canada, and I got an agent to, do the paperwork for me. I got my visa, and I moved to Canada. Mind you, I had nobody here. I had no relatives, just one or two friends. But they spotted the move. They told me it was the right one to make. And then I had personal reasons for moving as well. And I'm open to, doing a deep dive into my personal reasons. So, yeah.
Okay, let's get to it. There is always a story behind every decision to migrate. Kindly share yours with us and why the country you are in.
Like I mentioned earlier, I decided to move to Ontario for my postgraduate studies. And before that, it was more of where do we go from here after my bachelor's degree. So I looked at the country, I looked at the state of insecurity, I looked at the job prospects, I looked at the environment that I grew up in, notably Bariga, and it's one of the slums in Lagos. And I looked at the prospects of growing out of that, and weighing my options and seeing that I don't have the connections, I don't have the willpower to battle against people who do have connections. I mean, families, kids that do have connections, to get into the job space. And I've seen people struggling to deal with that. So I thought, I can cast my net overseas and see what catches, right? And then I decided to choose Canada because I weighed the prospect of settling down after school, free healthcare, an environment that rewards hard work and full of opportunities, to be honest. And I had friends over here that settled settled and are doing pretty well, and they advised me to make that move, which I did, and no regrets so far.
Leaving can be related to mathematics because you will be staying or meeting with new people, which is a plus. And the minus, leaving those you care about or have known behind for a time. So, who did you come with, or who did you leave behind? Or did someone come ahead of you?
I moved by myself, to be honest. I moved, I had just friends, and the friends I had were not in the same province that I moved to. So it was pretty tough. I mean, I left friends, family, loved ones behind, but they all understood the overall picture of why I was traveling, why I was moving overseas. And yeah, it was tough. I'll be honest. The first couple of months was tough, but I knew this, compared to where I was coming from, this was just a walk in the park. So um, I was braced. I was ready for the challenges. I mean, I've heard all sorts of stories about living overseas, so I was ready. And yeah, it was traumatic leaving people that you love behind and moving to a new country all by yourself. But yeah, Nigeria has toughened you up to the point where you become immune to other needs than survival. So yeah, I got over that homesickness, for a bit, and then dived into the life I had ahead of me. Yeah.
Before you went off to Canada, you had your hopes, and would you say that it is identical to your reality? I mean, as time has passed, how does your experience compare to what you expected?
Um, my expectations were more of based of people's experiences living over here. Like I mentioned earlier, I had friends that were here, so I didn't set this. I didn't expect it to be a walk in the park. I didn't expect it to be easy. I didn't expect to come over here and just pluck money off trees, like we do hear people say. So I was ready. I braced myself up for the challenges. I mean, from the weather to finances to setting realistic expectations. And I was able to match my reality to my expectations, because when I arrived and I said, okay, I didn't expect it to be easy, so I have to give it 110. So there was a perfect balance between my expectations and my reality, because I set them to match experiences from people that were already living here, and the advices that I got from them.
Recording success seems to have kept you here for long, isn't it? So far, what is the thing you are most proud of at the moment, and why?
I believe it's the goal of having a family here, setting my roots here, which I've been able to achieve. I've got a family. I was able to, get my wife over here. We've got our kids here. We've got our own homes. So it's more of, I'm just blessed. So I'm very grateful for everything that I've been blessed with. And I wouldn't say it has been easy, but I'm proud of how things have been able to align for me, and and then I'm so happy for what the future holds. So yeah, I'm just happy to be in a country that provides me the opportunity to build a life that I've always wanted for my family. So yeah, that's the space that I'm in right now.
There isn't a perfect place, you would agree. So help us to identify what has been your biggest challenge.
Yeah, there is no perfect place, Oloja, but to be honest with you, no matter how fertile your seeds are, you need fertile grounds to grow. And realistically, we all know Nigeria is not providing that. I mean, it's just the top 5% elites that are doing well, and then the rest, I don't even think we have a middle class, because the economy changes so fast that the middle class can just fall into debts of poverty. And you and I know, we grew up in Bariga. We saw this. We saw poverty firsthand, and we lived around people that were poor. And look around you, they are still there, right? I don't want to be committed to that. I don't want to, how will I put this? I don't want to swim against the tide, I don't want to swim against the storm. I want an environment that wants me to grow, right? I'm in a country where healthcare is free. I'm in a country that funds education. If you want to, there are loans that you can take to go to school, and then you pay back when you get a job. This is a forward-thinking government that wants, the people to excel, right? We don't have these infrastructures in place, and the ones that we do have in place are, preferential selection. So how does the common man feel? I mean, it's overwhelming. And look at the crime rates. The crime rate is going up because um, they don't have the basic. They can't even survive on the basics because the basics don't exist. So that's the biggest challenge for me mentally to even think about Nigeria as a whole, right? And I would employ anyone that wants to migrate to go ahead and do so, because you're not doing this for yourself. You're doing this for your kids. I mean, my kids are Canadians, and wherever in the world they can get Canadian support, they can, you know, visa fit to a lot of countries, amongst many other opportunities. So there's a whole lot more. The picture is bigger than we think, but like I said, it's a preferential choice. But yeah, it's one has to make at some point.
If someone you knew were planning on coming to this country, what would you tell them to expect?
If someone was moving here, I would advise them the way I was advised as well. I would just tell them to get ready to work hard. You get what you put in. It's a reward system. You work hard, you'll be rewarded for it. And set realistic expectations. Don't come up with that. Don't come up with that illusion that when you arrive here, things are going to fall in line. You should be ready to put in the work. You should be ready to give it all you got. I mean, if Nigeria cannot break you, then Canada cannot break you. Because you're coming from a country that you basically taught to work hard from birth, right? But then you come into a country where there are opportunities that you just need to tap into, just waiting for you right there. But then, are you willing to work hard for those dreams? I mean, are you ready to give it all you got? So it's more of set realistic expectations and get ready to work hard. I mean, there'll be blood, sweat, and tears. There'll be days where you feel like you're getting it all wrong, but I mean, there is always a silver lining in the horizon. So yeah, just anybody that wants to come is definitely a yes for me for sure. I'm sure you already know that.
Do you remember home at all? I mean, when was the last time you visited Nigeria?
Yeah, I do visit Nigeria, and I've been fortunate to bring my mom over here and family members as well. So realistically, I miss home. I miss the culture. I miss the people. But the state of insecurity, it's not ideal for me to go back now. The last time I was home was 2016. I actually came back to work for a TV company, an online TV company. But that didn't work out well because they went bankrupt, kind of. So I'm very open to working, but not leaving, but working back home. If the state of security improves, but if not, it's going to be probably short visits with the family, to align them with the culture and tradition back home. But like I said earlier, Canada is home for me. That's where I find my peace.
Finally, what are the things that the government can put in place that can encourage you to return to Nigeria? I mean, something to help you reconsider, let's just say.
Yeah, it's just the basic amenities will be one. I mean, talking about security of lives and property. And then just the basics, just electricity is one. I've lived here for 8 years now. I won't be able to stand the sound of generators running for hours. I won't be able to stand bad roads. Probably there's a whole lot more that I've adapted to over here that will be major inconveniences for me and my family if we decide to move back home finally. So if the government can put those basic, I mean, water is just basic, electricity is basic, good roads are just basic things. So it's not too much to ask, but I mean, so far so good. They have not been very promising with those things. So yeah, if this can be in place, then I might reconsider, but for now, fingers crossed.
Thank you for being a part of the show today, Femi. You've shared quite a lot of, you've shared wealth of information with us here. We really appreciate you doing that and taking our time to, spell this out for us so people can know what is really going on, what is causing the issue of leaving, and probably it can be fixed. So we hope that the government would listen, because you can't keep losing valuable people, and it is really against development. So hopefully you listeners can also tell us what you think of the state of the economy, and have you also ever considered leaving the country? What is your take on what Femi has shared? So on this note, we'll draw the curtain. Until next time, keep engaging on Habitat Studio. Cheers.